On paper, the JBL Flip 6 strikes the perfect balance between portability and sound quality. But is it that impressive in reality? I tested how the speaker sounds across different genres of music, its waterproof capabilities, and how strong the bass kicks. In our JBL Flip 6 review, we'll cover what the speaker gets right and where it falls short after experiencing the speaker firsthand. Let's start with design. Although this cylindrical shape has been around for years at this point, the exterior still looks modern with its braided mesh material and rubber accents. I purchased the navy blue colorway, but there are actually 5 other color options including red, black, gray, teal, and camo. Weighing in at 1.2 pounds and 7 inches long, it's certainly a smaller Bluetooth speaker. The form factor is nearly identical to a bottle of water or soda, which most people carry around on a daily basis without even thinking about it. Around the speaker are 2 sets of buttons. The main buttons for controlling music sit along the top: play and skip, volume up, volume down, and party boost. Towards the back of the speaker are the power and Bluetooth connect buttons. Next to those controls are the battery indicator, charging port, and lanyard loop. When I originally got the speaker, I wished all the buttons were together like on the JBL Charge 5, but I understand the need to separate them on a smaller speaker. Lastly, a small rubber kickstand stabilizes the Flip 6 on surfaces, although it's not the most stable design choice in my opinion. Jumping into features, the JBL Flip 6 has a lot going for it, including IP67 waterproof capabilities, 12 hours of battery according to JBL, and more. But I wanted to put these features to the test to see how they really hold up. In the first experiment, I tested the waterproof capabilities. Based on JBL's claim that this speaker is IP67 waterproof, it should technically be able to last 30 minutes underwater. In our test, we submerged the JBL Flip 6 underwater for 5 minutes while it played music. Interestingly, this JBL speaker does not float even when the lanyard is removed, unlike the JBL Charge 5, which is much bigger. Since it doesn't float, it would be harder to retrieve if it happens to fall into a large body of water. However, since there is a lanyard loop, it could be tethered to something to prevent it from falling in the first place. After 5 minutes underwater, this speaker sounds exactly as it did before taking a dive, proving the Flip 6 has no problems around water. In our second experiment, we tested this speaker's battery life, which should last at least 12 hours. During the battery test, I listened to a wide variety of music at around 30% volume, submerged the speaker underwater, and enabled party boost for a portion of the experiment. After starting with a full charge and draining it down to no power whatsoever, I was able to listen to music for a little over 18 hours. I've started to notice a trend where JBL advertises less battery life on speakers than they actually have, which I certainly prefer to overestimations. As you can see, the battery indicator is meter style with 5 different levels. As I've talked about previously, I'm not a big fan of this style of battery indicator because it's tougher to accurately tell how much battery is left. Older JBL models used a dot system instead, which I definitely prefer. While testing, I noticed that once the battery indicator starts blinking red, there's still 4 to 6 hours of listening time left, which is way more than the 1 to 2 hours you would expect. Overall, I'm impressed with the battery life, especially since JBL underpromised and overdelivered on the amount of listening time. Another perk is that JBL speakers can access the free JBL Portable app that provides even more control over how music sounds on Apple and Android devices. Before testing the app, I had low expectations for the equalizer feature, thinking it was mainly a gimmick, but was actually pleasantly surprised by the results. It creates a noticeable change in sound signature, depending on the configuration of bass, mids, and treble. The app also conveniently shows the speaker's battery level, additional party boost controls, and a user guide. The Flip 6 also has Bluetooth version 5.1, which allows for wider range between the speaker and controlling device, Party Boost mode, which allows pairing of up to 100 JBL speakers at once, so you can widen the music coverage, and it's IP67 dustproof, meaning it's totally protected against dust according to IP standards. With features out of the way, let's talk about sound quality on the Flip 6. Inside the speaker is a dedicated 16mm tweeter and 45mm by 80mm woofer, which give the speaker its rich and well-balanced sound signature. After many hours listening to the Flip 6, these were my listening notes across popular genres. With pop music, the sound was crystal clear and balanced. With classical music, it almost sounded like the instruments were in the room. With hip-hop music, the sound was very clear, even at high volumes. The bass level was also more than I expected for this form factor. And lastly, with electronic music, there was great bass and a balanced sound signature. As mentioned, the bass was already really solid on this speaker. However, you can pitch it up even higher with the JBL portable app. I also tested the max volume level on the Flip 6 and think it's definitely loud enough to fill an outdoor pool patio or a 2,000 to 3,000 square foot single-story home, for example. If you need wider coverage, the speaker's Party Boost mode allows you to wirelessly play music across multiple speakers at once. In my opinion, the JBL Flip 6 is a joy to play music on regardless of your music preferences. A big reason people consider this speaker is for its portability. This form factor is spot on for what a Bluetooth speaker should be. At 1.2 pounds, it's super easy to carry, whether holding it in your hand or tethering it to a backpack or a bicycle using the lanyard strap. With 18 hours of battery life, there's plenty of listening time for hiking trips, boat rides, or a pool party. Overall, I didn't find any issues from a portability standpoint on the Flip 6, unless you happen to want an even smaller speaker. During this review, I looked forward to listening to music on the Flip 6 and love its portability factor. Although I wish the rubber kickstand was a little sturdier, I don't mind this design choice as much since there is a lanyard loop for more secure tethering if needed. I was also pleasantly surprised by the 18 hours of battery life and waterproofing capabilities, both of which are key features for a Bluetooth speaker that you'd want to bring on outdoor adventures. Let me know in the comments section if anything surprised you about this speaker or if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.